Did you know that over 100 papal prophecies have circulated throughout history, many eerily accurate or suspiciously vague? Among them, one stands out: the mysterious prediction that the current pope could be the last. Could St. Malachy's prophecy be foretelling the end of the Catholic Church as we know it? In the shadowy corners of religious history, there exists a strange and powerful document, a list of 112 cryptic mottos said to predict every pope from the 12th century until the final one. This is the prophecy of the popes, attributed to St. Malachy, a 12th century Irish archbishop known for his visions and holiness. According to legend, during a pilgrimage to Rome, Malachy received a prophetic revelation outlining the identities of all future popes. His final entry refers to a pope who will reign during the destruction of the city of Rome and the final judgment. But is this prophecy truly divine? Or a cleverly crafted forgery designed to influence power struggles within the Church? Today we dive deep into the origins, controversies, and implications of St. Malachy's prophecy, and ask the question: are we truly witnessing the era of the last pope? The prophecy first surfaced in 1595, over 400 years after Malachy's death. Published by Benedictine monk Arnold de Wyon, it appeared in the book Lignum Vitae and was presented as a lost manuscript, but immediately questions arose. Why had no one mentioned it for centuries? Why does it seem uncannily accurate for popes before 1590, and vague or debatable for the popes that follow? Skeptics argue that the document was a forgery, created to influence the 1590 papal conclave by promoting Cardinal Girolamo Simoncelli. His motto, Ex Antiquitate Urbis, meaning from the Old City, fits Simoncelli's birthplace of Orvieto, an old city in Latin. Coincidence or clever manipulation? Meanwhile, believers contend that the consistent alignment of the mottos with later popes, such as John Paul II's motto, De Labore Solis, or From the Labor of the Sun, which some interpret in connection with solar eclipses during his birth and funeral, suggests something far more mysterious. But what happens when the final pope arrives? The last entry in the prophecy deviates from the rest. It reads, "In the final persecution of the Holy Roman Church, there will sit Peter the Roman." This pope is said to feed his flock amid great tribulation, after which the city of 7 hills will be destroyed, and the dreaded judge will judge his people. Is this just apocalyptic symbolism, or a chilling forecast of the Church's end? To truly understand the prophecy, we need to explore its historical backdrop and how it's been interpreted over time. St. Malachy himself was a reformer and deeply spiritual man. Canonized by Pope Clement III in 1190, he was known for miracles and visions, but his prophetic writings were never mentioned until 400 years later, and this fuels doubts about their authenticity. Nevertheless, the list of 112 mottos has captured imaginations for centuries. Each pope from Celestine II in 1143 is supposedly described by a short Latin phrase. For example, Pastor et Nauta, pastor and sailor, often linked to Pope John XXIII, who was the Patriarch of Venice, a maritime city. Flos florum, flower of flowers, tied to Pope Paul VI and his coat of arms, which featured fleur-de-lis. As time moved forward, interpretations became more stretched. Mottos like De Medietate Lunae, from the half of the moon, could refer to timing of birth, papal reigns, or vague symbolism. But believers argue that this ambiguity is part of prophecy. Not all truths are clear at first. The real concern lies with the final pope. If Pope Francis is indeed the 112th pope on the list, and his immediate predecessor, Benedict XVI, was the penultimate pope, then Peter the Roman must be Francis? But Francis is not named Peter, nor is he Roman by birth. He's from Argentina. Some theorists point out his full name, Jorge Mario Bergoglio, connects to Italian roots, and as Bishop of Rome, he holds a Roman title. Still, the link is tenuous. Others suggest the prophecy might not end with Francis, that there's a hidden pope to come, or the numbering is symbolic, not literal. So where do we stand today? Modern scholars and theologians remain deeply divided. Some call the prophecy a pious fraud, a medieval tool of influence. Others treat it as a divinely inspired warning of coming trials. Conspiracy theories swirl online, pointing to increasing secularization, scandals within the church, and global instability as signs of prophetic fulfillment. Pope Francis's reign has indeed been marked by unprecedented challenges: global pandemics, internal division, and geopolitical tension. His call for humility, reform, and interfaith dialogue is a stark contrast to the political papacy of past centuries. Could this represent the tribulation of the final shepherd? Or are we misreading poetic symbolism as literal doom? The prophecy of Peter the Roman does not name Francis, but perhaps it was never meant to. Perhaps the true meaning is hidden in patterns, symbols, and spiritual warnings, not names and dates. And if that's the case, then the prophecy may still hold value, not as a prediction of when the church will end, but how it should prepare for whatever comes next. In the end, St. Malachy's prophecy sits at the crossroads of faith, history, and speculation. Whether a spiritual vision, a clever forgery, or a coded warning, it continues to captivate minds centuries after its discovery. Its cryptic lines challenge us to look deeper, not just into the future of the church, but into the resilience of faith itself. And while many questions remain unanswered, one truth is certain: the mystery endures, and it demands our attention. What do you think? Is Pope Francis the last pope? Or is the prophecy just another historical puzzle? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you're intrigued by prophetic mysteries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with fellow seekers of truth.